Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma. There are big developments that are taking place in the Uttarkashi tunnel collapse. There 41 of the laborers have been stuck for the last several days now. We're getting to know that there is likelihood that all the 41 of the laborers are likely to be rescued. They are likely to be evacuated from the tunnel itself. There is the Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami, who is on his way to Uttarkashi. There is also news pouring in that there are 41 ambulances, 42 of the officers who have been deployed, who are on the ground, who are ready to move as soon as there is clearance that is given by the authorities, by the officials. We are also getting to know that there are tunnels, there are these evacuation pipelines that have already been inserted into the tunnel up to the depth of 41 meters. There is another few meters that are left, and as soon as these tunnels, as soon as these pipes are drilled inside the rest of the tunnel, the rescue operation will be initiated. Now, amidst all these developments, let's quickly also get in a word from my panelists over here to better understand what is the mental, physical and emotional situation of all these 41 laborers. It has been over 12, it has been 13 days since they have been struck. They were, in fact, they were inside the tunnel. News came in on the 13th of November when they got stuck. Today is already 22nd of November. So difficult situation, claustrophobia, fear of staying in small closed areas, is something that is the difficulty these individuals have been facing, besides the fact that they had not been able to receive water, medical supplies, food, clothes up until just a few days ago. Thankfully, there has been communication that has been sustained since day one when the workers were entrapped in that tunnel collapse. On the telecast with me is Dr. D.K. Gupta. He is the CMD at the Felix Hospital. Dr. Gupta, the very tense situation, and thankfully there is news pouring in that there is likelihood of these laborers who are going to be now rescued. They are going to be evacuated from the tunnel. These 13 days have been really long for these individuals. What are the kind of physical ailments that they might have contracted staying in the tunnel for so long in darkness?
I think that is great news, and we should congratulate the authorities working there. And definitely there should be a lot of problems like that. You have already explained that it can be physical health, mental health, emotional health, psychological health. So that if we talk about the mental health, definitely if somebody is trapped in a closed environment for more than 12 days, then it's very like obvious that he will have anxiety, fear of failure, fear, irritation, headache, even sometimes depression, post-traumatic disorders. These are all symptoms can happen because of mental health. They are having they're in the claustrophobic space right now. If we talk about the physical health, definitely because there is a lot of silica and there is a lot of dust inside the tunnels, and because of that there can be several diseases, suffering from the disease of the eyes, maybe resulting in chemical conjunctivitis, irritation, bottling discharge from the eyes, skin disorders, skin itching, allergy, dryness of skin. This can be skin disorder also because of pollutants in silica and other lack of poor supply of oxygen. It can result into a poor oxygen concentration, and poor oxygen consumption can lead to breathing difficulty, chest pain, palpitation, anxiety, and several patients who are having COPD or asthma, they can be, whenever they will be out, they can have severe attack of acute attack of asthma also. So I think severe respiratory disorder can be there. If we talk about the heart health, definitely because of this anxiety and this poor oxygen consumption, they can have palpitation, or there can be a lot of issue if we talk about regarding physical and emotional health issues. I think there is a hope that they are coming out, and I think that is a very good news.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Sangeeta as well, she's a mountaineer, and she has on a regular basis lived in extreme conditions. You are trained to travel, live in extreme conditions, and Sangeeta, I want to understand from you how difficult it is for for an individual who's trained to then go to these extreme heights, because there are training camps that are set up for 15 days, 30 days before you are actually ready to climb the Everest or any of the hilltops or any of the mountains that you want to reach the peak of. And in a situation such as this, that these are workers who are not trained whatsoever in any regard, that they can stay deep down in the tunnel with no food. It's a claustrophobic situation, it's darkness all around, it's a confined place, there's panic amongst all of these 41 workers. They don't know what to do, they don't know who to approach, but thankfully there has been this continued sustained communication that they have been able to have with the officers, with the NDRF and the SDRF, who have been in at the location 24/7 for the last 13 days.
So first and foremost, I think it's absolutely fantastic that we've been able to rig the tunnel right in so that we have another hours before they can be out. I'm sure it must have been harrowing experience for them, not knowing what is going to happen. So as a mountaineer, I can tell you that most of all, and the doctor here has already mentioned, there's going to be a lot of physical ailments which happen in such a situation where there is dust. But most of all, what they will be feeling is mental, because mentally they do not know where they stand. So what I would say is that they will be feeling a lot of fear, because when you don't know anything, then the fear sort of expands even much more. But one good thing is that there are many of them together, so they have each other. In the mountains up there, sometimes you can be on your own and you can fall into a crevice and things like that. But other than the physical strength that you have to have the mental ability to come out of it. So here, whoever is reaching out to them should tell them that it's the help is near and they're going to be okay. So the motivational thing has to continue until the time they get rescued. The other thing is, I would say, because they're in a claustrophobic space, they need to move their limbs, because in my opinion, motion is lotion. Here they have been stuck and it's been claustrophobic, and they've obviously gone through a lot. The eyes might be watering, and they were without water as well, from what I read. And it's just a matter of hours, and we hope it's sooner than later that they get out. But the mental grit of that they will be rescued, because it's much more closer than it was, say, a week back when they didn't know anything. But I'm sure what they're going through internally is really hard for them. And when they come out, and I'm sure they will, is they have to be pepped up, because emotionally also they must be so down. They're away from their families. I read somewhere that one of the guys was saying that he doesn't want his mother to know. And so you can imagine the family structure, which is outside, is not also knowing what's going to happen. Right. So the emotional and psychological aspect of the entire thing must be so harrowing. But help is near. And whoever's reaching out has to, keep prepping them up that, yes, it's going to happen, and keep them updated, because communication is the first thing that will get to them. And if they are left without any information that ye ho raha ya wo ho raha, then they're still going to have that fear. But if people keep communicating, even if it's little dribs and drabs to tell them, help is near, now we're going to do this, now we're going to do that, just like a doctor would tell his patient, they have to be treated like patients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure,
absolutely.
You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. Sangeeta, also the fact that there have been instructions that have been imparted, they have been advised to do yoga or meditation, that is also to build mental strength. Like you already said, that there has to be movement of the body parts in that close confined area. It's important, it's imperative. Again, the medical checkups will have to be done of all these individuals, the 41 of them who are then going to be evacuated, going to be rescued by the rescue operations that are going to be held by our personnel. I'm going to quickly ask my PCR team to replicate my monitor screen onto onto the television screen, because this is going to give a graphical representation of how long is this tunnel, where has the collapse happened, and there are 5-pronged plans that are in place. These evacuation pipes that have been put up at various junctions is going to give you an idea of how this 5-action plan is being implemented. It's been put into force to rescue the 41 laborers. Here's a look, and I'm going to quickly zoom it in. And this mentions about on the left hand side of the tunnel is okay, I'll have to, okay. So quickly, if we can just further, zoom out of this screen so that my viewers are able to see the full image. Can we remove the top bands for a moment so that the visual, so that the image is visible? Okay. Okay, all right. So this is the Uttarkashi tunnel rescue, the 5 plans to save these 41 workers. On the extreme bottom, the left hand side, you see Silkyara, where the digging of the tunnel was commenced by the 41 of these workers. Now, this tunnel is 13 meters wide. It is 9 meters high. You take a look at these individuals, the 41 of them, these men, the stick figures that have been built. This is the place, this is exactly the place, right almost at the middle of the tunnel that was being dug out by these workers, and they have been stuck there since 13 days. Taking a look at the evacuation pipe number 1, which is going straight down into the tunnel from the left hand side, and this is of the length of 60 to 70 meters. It is 900 meters wide, and this is the horizontal drilling that has happened, that has then insertion of the evacuation pipe number 1. This pipe number 2 on the top left, if you can see this is not right inside the tunnel, straight right inside the tunnel, but it has been dug up on the left hand side of the tunnel, and this is of the length of 170 meters at a distance from the entrance at 280 meters. There is a third evacuation pipe which is of a length of 90 meters, distance from the entrance 320 meters. There is an evacuation pipe number 4 that has also been installed. Its length is 325 meters. Its distance from Barkot site is 480 meters. So, on the left hand side is Silkyara, and on the right hand side is Balkot. The evacuation pipe number 5, the length is 480 meters, and that has also been installed from the Barkot side of the tunnel. It is also important to note that there are 3 supply pipes that have been installed inside the tunnel. The 2 supply pipes are on the left hand side from towards the Silkyara area where the tunnel then is dug up. The third pipe, which is the supply pipe number 3, has been put up on the right and in the middle of the tunnel from the right hand side to provide all supplies, food, clothes, medical supplies, and the communication also that is happening through the tunnel. And these supply pipes are godsend, which are keeping these men safe, secure, the only helplines, the only lifelines that they have until the proper rescue operations are done. I already mentioned that there's 41 meters that have already been dug in by the drilling machines, the auger machines that have been put into use. We are getting to know that any time now, this operation could take maybe 3-4 hours in all hopes that these people are going to be rescued, because the drilling machines have reached right up to the laborers where they are stuck. So only just a matter of time that these tunnels, that these pipes, these evacuation pipes then reach these workers. Now, there's one more piece of information that I wanted to provide to you. This will give you a perspective of the entire tunnel length, and how is this divided? So the entire length of the tunnel from Silkyara to Barkot. So along the left hand side is Silkyara, on the right hand side is Barkot. The total length of this tunnel is 4.5 kilometers. There is 2.34 kilometers the tunnel that has been constructed from Silkyara side. The remaining 1.79 kilometers of the tunnel was to be dug up from Barkot side. Now the entrance of the tunnel, 160 meters has been calculated as the entrance of the tunnel. There is 55 to 60 meters is the area on the Silkyara side which is filled with debris, and that has actually caused this collapse of the tunnel that has led to the filling of the debris and has stopped the entire area from where the workers can then leave. That led to the entrapment of the workers. There's about 2,080 meters is the area where the workers are trapped. Then you go to the right hand side, moving towards the right, 400 meters of the tunnel is incomplete, and like I said, 1.79 kilometers tunnel is from the Barkot side that is also to be constructed. So now that we understand a graphical representation and to give like a sketch of where the workers are trapped, how did the debris fall, what is the area of in which the workers are stranded in. It's really it's a confined space. 2,080 meters is exactly the space that these workers are stuck in. Let me also get in a psychiatrist who's joining me on the telecast right now. Let me quickly introduce the psychiatrist with me, Dr. Nilesh Gupta. He joins me, he is working at the Canwin Hospital. Dr. Gupta, one has to be psychologically very, very strong. We were getting information that there were a couple of workers who were guiding the rest to stay strong, to stay motivated, to not lose hope, because once you lose hope, the entire game collapses.
Correct, ma'am. Generally, in such cases, first reaction of a person is panic and anxiety, and remaining confined for this long can cause other symptoms such as disturbance of sleep due to changes in circadian rhythm, because a person is staying in dark for so long, right? And these people can gradually have anxiety disorders like claustrophobia, panic disorders, even depression. Even some people may have PTSD like symptoms like recollection of these traumatic events, irritability, hypervigilance, disturbed sleep, all those things. So it is very necessary to stay strong and help others to stay strong. So authorities are also communicating regularly with these workers who are trapped. So this helps so much in decreasing their anxiety and maintaining calm in those. And even I have heard that they got some good khichdi, I guess. So they must be feeling very good after having some hot food after 8-9 days, right? So these little things help them stay strong. And even after getting out of this, I guess they'll do psychological assessment of these workers, which will help rule out any immediate mental health illness in those workers.
Okay. Okay, Ridhima Arora, she is a nutrition expert. She is a founder of Namya Foods. Now, Ridhima, how important is it to take due precautions when it comes to providing food to these workers? Finally, there have been these evacuation pipes that have been fitted in. There are supply pipes that have also been fitted in, 3 of them. Food is now finally being trickled into these pipes to then reach to these laborers. Now, are we paying enough attention to provide nutrition, right kind of nutrition to these workers, keeping in mind they are stuck for the last 13 days?
Right. So I think the most important thing in these cases is usually the fact that A normal body can definitely survive for at least 21 days without food, provided they are getting some amount of water, right? And a normal body can also survive at least for 4 days without food and water. But the situation that we are talking about is a very, very different situation where somebody is stuck in debris, there is no light. It's a situation of panic. There could of course be a lot of anxiety in the men who are stranded. So I think in these cases it is very, very important that even if you are not feeding well, you at least supply good amount of water. Now that works only for, let's say, 4 to 5 days. After 4 to 5 days, the body not only loses at least 3 kgs of weight, but also starts using the existing reservoirs of energy, which is called the cellular energy that we typically use in times of starvation. Now, from the lens of food, I think what is important right now is carbs. So fuller meals like dal rice, or which is at the same time very easy to consume, considering the fact that they are in debris. So right amount of carbs, even if it comes in the form of energy drinks, is what is essential. More than the cellular energy being degraded because of the food, there is much more adverse conditions the body experiences because of dehydration. So my suggestion would be that more than the food, the focus should be more on water and energy drinks right now. And of course, 1 or 2 meals a day. And of course, once they come out in a day or so, then is when we'll have to properly take care of the nutrition of the person. But I think once they are inside, simpler foods, which are full of carbs and energy drinks, are what is required right now with required amount of hydration.
Ridhima, also, keeping in mind that they have an area of a little more than 2 kilometers, and there are 41 men who are stuck. Then there are also questions about hygiene, defecation, which they will have to utilize their surroundings to relieve themselves. In a situation such as this, there could be a lot of ailments, diseases that they may also contract, besides the fact that they are stuck in the deep end and there's nowhere to go up until now.
Right. So I think, since the variables are so many that none of us know what exactly is happening inside, that is first. And of course, that means that there could be any possibility as we speak. But having said that, I think packaged foods which are packaged properly, despite the length, I think that is what we should do. And, providing, fruits like banana, which they can easily open and eat and doesn't need the usage of a lot of, it doesn't need hand movement per se. So I think stuff like that needs to be thought about, which also has equal amount of energy. Like banana has instant energy. Then dal rice, if they can be fed in a certain way, that has instant energy. Energy drinks, as I was saying. So these are the sources that we should perhaps think about at this moment. And of course, once they are out, maybe in a day or so, then of course the whole nutrition needs to be rechecked.
Okay, all right. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast. We'll keep a close eye on all these big developments that are now rapidly making pace with regards to the rescue of these workers. Likelihood of them being rescued, all of them being rescued by the end of the day today, during the night time, are very, very plausible. So fingers crossed, hope these workers are rescued and all safely evacuated.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.